hockey fans. Welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. I'm your host, Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, on the program that is by a Blues fan, for Blues fans, and about Blues fans. Yeah, and I talk a little other hockey, so I'll let you other fans come in too. This is Season 2, Episode 16. Well, since our last game against Arizona, some things have happened. Before that game, Doug Armstrong announced that Troy Brouwer and Jamie McGinn have been signed to PTOs, professional tryouts. The way a professional tryout works, they can come up for 10 days and practice with the team. At the end of the 10 days, they have to be offered a standard player contract or they're released. Troy Brouwer, as you remember, scored the game-winning goal in Game 7 of Round 1 in 2016 against the Blackhawks. He went and played for Calgary, and this year he was actually playing with the junior team. He's lost some speed. Jamie McGinn, I don't really know a lot about him. I know he's kind of been around and lost some speed too. I think he was playing in the CHL for a little bit. These guys were called up because Armstrong wanted NHL experience. He wanted to see what was out there. He wanted experienced guys. Well, I don't know how well the tryouts are going, but on Wednesday, the Blues announced that Klim Kostin had been called up. Now, Klim Kostin, you might remember, was the player that the Blues acquired when we traded, one of the players that was acquired when we traded Ryan Reeves to Pittsburgh. We got the 35th pick in the draft, and Klim is the pick we called. He's got a lot of upside, got a lot of speed, very talented Russian. Only problem I see with him is he's taken a lot of penalties. If he can keep that down, he should be really good. Also, today, during practice, Jordan Bennington introduced his Cujo mask and pads. Here's a picture of him here. I think they're really special, and I can't wait to see him when he's wearing the clown jersey. I think it's going to really set him off. Jordan, great way to honor the past of the Blues. I had the 500 and 500 promotion going. I'm going to kind of drop it or make a change to it. So I have a Blues prize pack that I'm going to give away on the 1st of December, just before the Blackhawks game. The way I'm going to do it, if you are both subscribed to the channel on YouTube and you like the page on Facebook, like the BlueNote Fan Report page, your name will go in. One entry for liking both of them, and someone will get picked and you'll win it. Now, if somehow I can get to 500 subs on YouTube and 500 likes on the BlueNote Fan Report, I'll throw in a pair of lower bowl tickets to the December 15th game or 14th game against the Chicago Blackhawks at home. It's a Saturday night game. Should be pretty special. Like this page and subscribe, and like the BlueNote Fan Report on Facebook. So let's talk about our Blues facing the Coyotes. Now, the night before they faced the Blues, the Coyotes were in Washington. They played the Capitals. They were up 3-0 and end up winning this game in a shootout. They gave up a 3-goal lead. At the time, Washington was the number 1 team in the league, and the Blues were the number 2 team in the league. The last 2 Stanley Cup champs. Well, Arizona doesn't get into St. Louis till almost 4 in the morning, somewhere between 3 and 4 in the morning, on Tuesday to face the Blues Tuesday night. Game had a good start to it, little back and forth. Arizona ends up taking 9 shots in the first, and the Blues took 8. Better numbers than we've had. At the 17-13 mark, Pietrangelo and Shin, little magic for Mr. Schwartz. Take a look.
Last night he had 5 against the Capitals. Played right back in, and a chance for Shin. Rebound, they score.
First period ends. It is 1-0. Well, we get into the second period, and the second period has been the Blues' Achilles heel. Well, kind of happens here a little bit. At the 6:40 mark, the Blues have what is an icing. Dunn slows up a little bit, and the Arizona beats it out. Well, in the process of them beating it out, Clayton Keller collects a bad pass, right in front of the net and buries it. For those of you who don't know, Clayton Keller is a St. Louis boy. Now the Blues do something that they haven't done. They limited shots. Arizona only took 6 total, and the Blues took 16. 16 shots. Problem is, only got 1 goal. Mr. Parayko with the howitzer got ammunition from Barbashev and Sundqvist and made this happen.
And he has for the last 4 games on a 4-game points tear right now.
Chance over the line. Parayko, he shoots and he scores. Colton Parayko. And it's 2-1 Blues.
Really good goal. It's 2-1 at the end of the second. We get into the third period. Now in the third period, this is where the Blues have had some issues with shots, and so has Arizona. Arizona only takes 5 shots in this period. The Blues take 7. Well, problem is only Arizona scored. On the power play, Keller and Draco come flying into DeVarco, come flying into the zone. Keller to DeVarco, DeVarco to Keller. Keller passes right in front of the net. Garland's there, tips it right on in. It's 2-2. You know, up to this point, the Blues had taken 31 shots, and Arizona had taken 20 shots, yet the game is tied. This is the first time in a while the Blues have really limited shots and taken a bunch of shots. So I was pretty excited. But, again, there's some negatives that happen. In the shootout, the Blues don't score. Arizona scores on both those. Arizona gets the win 3-2. Now, I've seen posts where people were like, oh, it's not a big deal, and someone put a video out saying that, I don't care about this, I'm happy with it, I got nothing to complain. Well, actually there is a couple of things to complain about. First of all, on that 8-game winning streak, you went to extra time a lot against teams you should have put away. My buddy Lance DeScott was on a radio station in Illinois. He does the Drop podcast. Great guy, really knowledgeable about hockey. Played goalie for a while in beer leagues and a little above. Some low minor league stuff. Really knows his stuff, and he talked about the Blues not having the killer instinct. Lance, you hit it on the nose. Nailed it, buddy. They don't have that killer instinct. This is a game that they should have put away. Now, I can't take away from Darcy Kempner. He played an outstanding game. However, the Blues did miss 3 or 4 empty nets. That's not on that. That's on the Blues, not Kempner's great goaltending. And he was great. He ended up saving 20 of 22, and Bennington saved 33 of 35. Now, the other thing about this you hear a lot from people is, we won the cup, big deal. You know what? They're right. We won the cup. I got the ring. I got a signed Tarasenko puck on Stanley Cup champions, Stanley Cup champions puck. Even got a Stanley Cup. See all this? Yes, I know the Blues won the Stanley Cup, but that stopped mattering, absolutely stopped mattering on October 2nd at 7:15 p.m. when the puck got dropped between the Blues and the Washington Capitals. New season. 2 years ago, the Blues finished October with a 10-3-1 record and ended up missing the playoffs by 1 point. Last season, Buffalo had a 10-game winning streak in October and November and missed the playoffs. Great starts are only great if the finish is great. The problems that we are seeing with the Blues not having that killer instinct, not putting teams away, blowing 2-goal leads is some coaching issues that need to be taken care of. And I know I'm going to get slayed saying that, but Blueberry, it's trends now. And when it's a trend, I put that on the coach, not the player. Something in the system is allowing some of this stuff to happen. So now our Blues are going to take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus is 6-8-4 with a -19 goal differential. The same time that we were losing to Arizona in a shootout, 3-2, the Blue Jackets lost to Montreal, 3-2 in a shootout. Power play. Columbus is 13.6, which is 26th in the league. The Blues are at 26.4%, which is 4th in the league. Exploitable. Penalty kill. Columbus is at 77.3, which is 21st. The Blues are at 80.7, which is 15th. Again, slightly exploitable. Goals allowed per game. Goals for. Goals allowed per game. Columbus is at 3.33, which is 22nd. The Blues at 3.11, which is 15th. Now goals for, this is an important number. Columbus, 2.33 goals per game. They're only scoring just over 2 goals a game, which is 30th, next to last in the league. The Blues are at, goals allowed, the Blues are at 2.74, which is 8th. Goals for, the Blues are at 3.11, which is 15th. They're scoring almost a goal more per game. Sorry, guys. Oh, my brain sometimes. Dun 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 dun. Okay, maybe I've got it shaken up now. Okay. Where am I at? Oh, shots allowed. This is one of the numbers that really just boggles my mind. Columbus is allowing 28.9 shots per game. That's first. Yet they have a 6-8-4 record. They may be limited in the shots, but they're giving up some wonderful opportunities. The Blues are at 30.1 shots per game, which is 9th. And their record is much better. They're not giving up the opportunities. Players to watch for on the Blue Jackets. Pierre-Luc Dubois got 6 goals, 5 assists for 11 points. Cam Atkinson has 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points. And Jonas Carrasco, Gustav Nyquist is at 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points. On the Blues side of that, Ryan O'Reilly is at 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points. David Perron is on his heels at 8, 10, and 18. Braden Shen has 10 goals, 7 assists for 17 points. And our captain, Alex Pietrangelo, is at 6 and 11 for 17 points. Goalies. Now, the last time we played Columbus, Elvis Merkins started and lost in OT. He is 0-1-4 with a 3.43 goals against average and an .894 save percentage. Jonas Corlisso, oh man, God, Columbus, get some players' names people can pronounce. Is 6-7-1 with a 3.13 goals against and an .895. Bennington is 9-2-4. He's right around 2.40 goals against with a 918 save percentage. Allen is at 3-1-0 with a 3.29 and an .882. Predictions. This really should be a Blues win. On paper, there's a big disparity here, and the Blues should walk away, but they didn't. And paper, they don't play the games on paper. But good teams know how to win. Today, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have had a tough season, just came back from overseas, scored 9 goals against the Rangers, beat them 9-3. 9 goals. Big goal scoring streak. I'm very happy for Shattenkirk and Pat Maroon. You guys keep going. Maybe we'll see you in the finals. But I do think this is going to be a win, but I think it's going to be a tougher win than it should be. However, I think the Blues will find that killer instinct. 4-2 Blues. Book it. Well, you guys know that my favorite part of the show is about the fans. This is where I get to highlight you, the fans, and this is my connection to you. I'm 4,200 miles away. I'm a huge Blues fan. I would love to be sitting right in the middle of St. Louis, going to the bars with you, going to the games with you, talking on the radio, listening to it, but I can't. So the way I learned how to connect is through this. So I have my fan of the game, tattoo of the game, pet of the game, and sometimes even a fan cave of the week. I got a good one that I got to get shown. Got to talk to the owner to make sure I got the greatest, latest, and updated pics. But if you want to help me out and you want to be a part of the show, just like today's fan of the game is, send an email to hawaiibluesfan@hawaii.r.com or send me a message on Facebook. Now, my fan of the game is a special young man. When I first started this, one of the very first people to really latch on to this show was Nathan Vipon. Nathan, is from Melbourne, Australia. He fell in love with the Blues, and he in turn turned his 11-year-old son, Max, into a Blues fan. Nate sent me an email, said, hey, Max loves the Blues as much as I do and wants to be the fan of the game. Well, Max, today, you're a fan of the game. Max has a younger brother who I hope will be a fan of the game, but seeing that look on Max's face, I don't know how much longer his younger brother is going to be around. Max was so enthralled by what happened with the Blues last year and his dad constantly playing Gloria. Max is learning how to play the guitar. He's very musically inclined, and using only his ear, he did this. Max, that is just outstanding, buddy. Keep it up, and once you get to the point where you can play that full song, we'll figure out how you can do it for me, man. Max, I want to say thank you so much for being my fan of the game, and I think we're going to see you a little later in the show. Okay, I've had some pets of the game that would sit in front of the TV or would bark or things like that, but this is the first pet of the game that I've ever had that did this. This little guy is Dippers. He is a black and white cat. That's all we know. He is a rescue. He needs a home. Now, if you're a Blues fan and you need a cat that will high-five a player after he scores, watch this. That is a pet of the game. Dippers, you are a cool-looking cat. Now, if any of you out there, I mean, even if you're out in St. Louis, think that Dippers is the kind of cat that you want, Dippers right now is being fostered by my good friend and buddy, Chris Thompson. I'm sure we can work something out to get Dippers to St. Louis. And if we can't, I apologize. And if you're in Hawaii, give Dippers a home. Dippers, I want to really thank you for being my pet of the game. Well, guys, our Blues are on a great run. I'm enjoying the show. This has been a good month so far. November normally has been a historically bad month for us, but at this point, we haven't lost. And we're moving into the 15th, halfway through the month, and we haven't lost in regulation. I'll take it. Normally, I tell you that I'm bleeding blue with you, and my buddy Jackson says it too. However, this time, I think I'm going to let Max take over. Max?
Today from down under Hawaii, Blues fan. My name is Max and I live in Melbourne, Australia. But most importantly, I'm bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues!
That's right, Max. I'm bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo. I'm bleeding blue with you, and I'll see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report.